Hey there Facebook, it's Vanessa here again, your motivational speaker, trainer and head coach from Live, Love, Give, and I'm coming to you live from the car, from a drive back from Vegas today, back to Utah, and I'm hoping that the reception is going to work out, but today's message I wanted to bring to you is, do you raise the standard, or do you set the standard, or do you just drop to your environment and just attune to whatever the standard is that's presented to you in that environment? And the reason why I wanted to bring this message to you today is actually because just before I left Vegas, I stopped off at this massive souvenir shop just to grab a bunch of fun Vegas souvenirs. And as soon as I walked in there, I was just like, oh my god, this is just so cheap and crap and nasty. I didn't know what I was going to get. I didn't know if it was worth even getting anything in there. And this place was so big. I walked from one side of the store all the way through, and by the time I'd made it to the other end, I had sort of accustomed to the quality there, and I was picking up stuff and going, this is great, I'll get this and this. And it sort of just set me off and reminded me about how easily we can lower our standards to the environment that we are in. And I'm using the analogy of the souvenir shop today, but I'm really referring to in your life, in the different areas of your life, how are you setting the standard? Or are you just dropping your standards dependent on the environment, depending on maybe the person that you're hanging out with that day? Maybe they're not in a great emotional energy or state, and you, instead of setting the standard and raising the energy of that situation, you're dropping to their level, you're dropping to their energy and in that negative environment, rather than being the leader. And maybe it's in your health. Maybe you are trying to get a better quality of health going on, and instead you fall victim to the environment, like I have in Vegas. Some of the stuff that I've been eating here and drinking here, I'm really feeling it, and I've definitely dropped my standards on my health. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, I think we all need to get to experience life and have some balance and have some fun, but I'm really reminded about how powerful having a standard is. And I'm hoping that today's message gets you guys thinking about raising your standards, setting a higher standard for yourself so that you can get better quality results in your life, in your mindset, in every area. So wanting to check in with you guys. Hopefully the internet connection isn't too bad here. Let me know if it drops out. But Angel, I love having you here, and Camellia and Chris and Otum and Steve and Hassani, awesome to have you, and Mithu, and Sohail, hi to you, and Kirill, and thanks Chris, appreciate you, and Maggie and Shemetra and Paul. Yes, Paul, you said, unfortunately, I dropped my standard, and so many of us do. And I was actually just having a conversation about this a moment ago, in terms of one of the best coaching moments I've had in my life, where I had a great coach who was coaching me through a scenario in my relationship where I found I was being really brought down by my partner's energy, by their moods. Like, I couldn't help but to take on that energy, and it would put me in a really bad emotional state. And she said to me, Vanessa, you need to be a leader in your energy. Stop following and start leading. Start setting a higher standard about the quality of the environment you want to be in, and be the leader in creating that. And I think that that's a really powerful message. It's one that's always stuck with me for many, many years now, and I hope that it resonates with you guys out there as well. And thank you for sharing that, Paul. Chris, awesome to have you. And the other Chris, no, I'm not driving. I'm a passenger, thank goodness. Otherwise I would have crashed, I'm pretty sure. Jeff and Mike and Alex, awesome to have you. And Selma, you're so welcome. And Hyungle and Bobby, much love to you, Chris and Camilo. Thanks for being here. And Selma, it is because of society influence too. Most definitely, and they're some of the hardest standards to break through and to step out of when we are surrounded by a societal standard. And that takes a lot of commitment and dedication, but you as an individual need to raise above societal standards and set your own standards, set authentic standards that inspire you. And that's what really my message is about. It's so easy to just fall into being a follower in terms of the environment that we're in. It takes a lot of courage and confidence and self-awareness to set your own standards and step up to them. So thank you so much for sharing there. And I'm going to scroll back. Selma, thank you so much. And Wakas, thank you for joining. And Leroy and Kane, awesome to have you. And Bobby and Casey and Laura and Kuno and Gail and Hassani, awesome. Great reminder, always inspiring me to repeatedly step into my higher self. Awesome. And assessing how I can really use this in my home as well. Awesome, Hassani, you're the best. I love it. Yes, I love that this has inspired you to, step higher into your higher self. Identify who is your higher self in the different areas of your life. What is the standard that you are committed to living to? And start totally stepping into that. Step up and go for it. And that is where our life begins. When we are, just succumbing to low quality standards in our lives, that is when life just is, we know deep down that we're not living to our highest potential, that we're dropping the bar, and we can never really be happy at that place. So we have to, at some point, build the courage and the self-awareness to step forth in the standards that most inspire our higher self. So it does take courage. It means stopping being a follower. It means becoming the leader. But ultimately, that is your pathway to fulfillment. So I love that. Thanks so much for sharing, Hassani. And Fafula, thank you. And thanks, Chris and Selma. Because I am raising my standards, but people surrounding me are draining all of my energy to the point that I feel useless by following such goals. Yes, so Selma, you may have heard the quote by Jim Rohn that you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Really, I would get you to really think about that. And my belief is that the relationships that we have in our life, no matter whether they're your family, your intimate partner, your friendships, all of the above, you want to be surrounding yourself with people who support you to step into your higher self and also challenge you to step into your higher self, but they're not threatened by your higher self. And so that is a really difficult journey, one that I've been on many, many times in my life, in terms of needing to leave people behind and feeling grateful for the connections and the relationships that you've had and taking the lessons with you, but not allowing those relationships to keep you stuck in an unhealthy environment that doesn't support and challenge the highest of yourself. So yeah, I really am feeling into and resonating with where you're coming from there, Selma, and I really appreciate you sharing your experience here, and I hope that my comments there have resonated with you. Appreciate it. Thank you. And Simon from Mexico, love having you here. And Masayoshi, I love it. And Jared's on, I love it. And Tony and Jen and Avaris and Samia and Candice, you're so welcome. Stepping up and going for it, becoming closer to my truest self. I love that, Candice. Love that you're on that journey. So, so awesome. And all right, and Tony, nice to have you, and Karim and Lisa, awesome guys. I absolutely love having you here. I've loved that the internet's working. I've never done a Facebook Live in the car before, so this is a bit of fun. And Lucy, awesome to have you joining me right now. But really, that is my message for you guys today. I really hope that today's message has inspired you to ultimately see where you're just being a follower in your standards in different environments in your life, and where you need to identify who your higher self is, what your standards are and raise your standards, step up to a higher degree of standard in each area of your life if you want to actually access your highest potential. You know, stop settling and start reaching. And just want to touch in with your last comments here. Hey Lisa, yes, and you're so welcome, Selma. Thank you so much. I appreciate that that was valuable to you. And Stephen, awesome to have you. And Robbie, I love it. So guys, let me know if you have any last questions or comments or any sort of experiences in terms of raising your standards in the different areas of your life. I'd love to hear from you. And I have had just a brilliant time in Las Vegas, just letting you guys know. I love the place. I cannot wait to get back. There is so much to see and do and explore there. And yeah, it's just been so brilliant. I just love visiting the States, and it's been a ton of fun heading back to Utah now, back to the serenity of the mountains. So can't wait for that as well. And yes, I am sending you all of my love, light, blessings, gratitude, energy, enthusiasm, everything brilliant coming at you wherever you are in the world today. I cannot wait to see you guys tomorrow. If you have any way that you feel I could be adding more value to you guys, any particular topics that you'd love for me to talk into, I would absolutely love to hear from you. That's what I'm here to do. So yeah, I would really appreciate you giving me any sort of feedback as to how I could be adding more value to you guys. And I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you guys tomorrow.